This is the balance of the Adirondacks, right? The good news is tourism is up, economic activity is up. That's the good news. The bad news is the tourism increase is actually creating issues, parking issues, traffic issues, and there's a real question of what's the maximum use of the resources without damaging the resources.
Governor Cuomo spoke to reporters earlier this month before he announced the new working group. He called the threat of overuse in the Adirondacks legitimate.
It's not black and white. We want tourism. We want people to enjoy it. We want the economic development, but we want to make sure we're not spoiling the asset. And that's the balance we have to reach. And there are legitimate concerns.
Concern with overuse in the Adirondacks is not a new issue for advocacy groups. John Sheehan of the Adirondack Council says they've been monitoring it for at least 2 decades. Are we loving the Adirondacks to death?
Well, I think we may be. There are an awful lot of people coming to the High Peaks region and an awful lot of damage being done as a result of that. And there are some things that the state can do to deal with those consequences, and I think we have to be prepared to protect the natural resources of the park, or people won't keep coming back and enjoying the place.
The Adirondack Park is just over 9,300 square miles of New York's North Country. It's a patchwork of public and private lands. The state has designated 2.6 million acres of it as forever wild. The region is home to about 137,000 people year-round and an additional 200,000 seasonal residents. Adirondack tourism has skyrocketed in recent years. By 2017, the park had seen 7 to 10 million visitors annually. The governor's office said last year the park saw 12 million. Local officials and environmental advocates are concerned that the uptick in tourism is creating public safety issues and excessive waste, eroding trails, damaging wildlife, and stressing infrastructure.
That's as a result of some pretty steady investments by the state in developing tourism. It's also the effect of having social media repeating the beauty of the park to millions of people who might not have seen it before. And just having that experience brings more and more people to the Adirondacks to see what it's all about.
The State Department of Environmental Conservation has already taken some steps to address the issue of overuse, paying particular attention to the busy Route 73 corridor. Commissioner Basil Sagos says it's a priority going into 2020.
Well, we've been at this for a couple of years now, working collaboratively with sister agencies as well as the local municipalities and many of the stakeholders in the region, getting a handle on parking, actually striping certain areas, putting no parking zones in place, reducing speeds during peak weekends, doing a partnership with Leave No Trace so that there's better education at the trailhead and you have people going into the backcountry who are better educated about trash and what to wear.
Sagos says the new 11-member High Peak Strategic Planning Advisory Board is made up of representatives from environmental groups, local government, regional tourism organizations, and private businesses.
We needed to create a smaller group that could convene in a small setting and pour through alternatives. This is not an exclusive club. This is honestly a team of people that we know can roll up their sleeves and are willing to roll up their sleeves, and that's what I asked of them is to really lean forward over the next few months and come up with some solutions.
Sagos says he wants recommendations from the advisory group by the springtime.
I'm not going to prejudge any of the alternatives that they come up with. I know that there's quite a bit of thinking right now out there about everything from do nothing, just carry on as is, maybe some minor enhancements all the way to a permit system. I mean, I have my thoughts, my personal thoughts about that, and I do not believe a permit system is enforceable within a park like the Adirondacks. But I want the group to research it a bit, and I don't want to tell them in advance to take anything off the table.
Adirondack advocates like Sheehan say they're pleased to see the governor and DEC take action through the working group.
We're very hopeful that this is going to be the beginning of the solution that we're after. What we've recommended so far is that the state take a look at making a new investment, that they do some additional maintenance, and appoint people that are qualified to help them guide the process from here on in. And we're starting to see that happen.
When lawmakers return to Albany in January, they'll also be considering a number of issues that affect the Adirondacks. That includes a bill to curb road salt contamination and vetting the governor's nominees to fill vacancies on the Adirondack Park Agency Board.